Good morning. Welcome to Sheri's Leaves. It's quite early. Well, not really. It's really 7:26 a.m. on a Saturday morning. Today's September 6th. And I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do today. I think I'm going to, for sure, make a couple videos. And right now my grow lights are all off, except for one over there underneath where the cactuses are. So I'm interested to see what this light looks like without the grow lights. So today I am for sure going to be doing our Monstera Day, I guess. I bought a new plant that was delivered Wednesday. It was Wednesday, I think. Wednesday or Thursday. Yeah, it was Wednesday afternoon from Rare Foliage. And today I want to pot her up. And I also want to put moss pole on her as well as the other two monsteras I have. So if this sounds good to you, I hope you stick around and interact with me and watch me all the way through. Hopefully this is good. It was way too dark in here without my grow lights. It looks like it may rain today, so we don't have much sun or anything right now, maybe later. So hopefully I'll get better. Made myself my tea, as you've probably seen. It is, I love this stuff. I'm not a tea person, but this stash tea, it's a decaf tea, and I really like it. It's so good. It's a chai. All right, so I got a couple of my plants here that we're going to be working on, and I haven't actually talked about these two. They're really new. Except this one. I've had this one since April, if not before. Maybe it was February. I bought this cutting right here from Rare Foliage. And it was just, I've always wanted an Albo. And if I could just have this leaf forever, I would. But obviously, that's not going to last. but the cutting had a node on it, and we've already got growth. So these are both brand new leaves, and here you see this is the latest one. She's still growing, she's hardening off, but what I want to do today, right now, as you can see, I only have this plastic little pole here for support, and I want to give these plants moss pole. And any of you who've been watching me for a while know that my Deliciosa that I chopped last summer. I'll put the videos in the description. But I chopped her because, and if I have pictures, I'll put them on B-roll. I chopped her because she was so big. She was beautiful, just a beautiful plant. I couldn't get over. I was able to buy a Monstera that with fenestrations and that beautiful at a garden center before. And but I didn't like I don't like the look of the Monstera when they start, growing up this way. I think that the look it's just not for me. I don't like that real long stem. And then number two, it was so heavy. And yes, I could pick it up, but it was just too hard to maintain. So unfortunately, I tried. What I ended up doing was, and I explain it in my videos that I've linked, but I'm going to go ahead and explain it now so you understand why I'm going to do the moss pole. So I refused to have moss poles early on, and it's because I thought, oh, they're going to bring bugs. They're going to have gnats, and yep, that they will. But the last year I have been using my BTI solution every single watering, and this summer we've had minimal gnats. I don't see them flying around the plants. I don't see them flying around my face, except once in a while I see one or two, but I'm telling you, it's nothing like it was last summer. So I believe I've got that under control, and with the help of some of my little pings and my help with my Drosera that I have, they catch gnats as well. But so because I have that under control, and knock on wood, I haven't had any pest situation since growing my collection, from early on from cactuses only to what we have today with my aeroids. I've decided that I'm not going to be afraid to use moss poles. And if I would have used a moss pole when I had the Monstera Deliciosa last year, and I had her, and it had a moss pole for quite a while to grow roots, I would not have ended up losing that plant. And she would have been spectacular when I chopped her, because she would have had all roots already. I did try to air layer her, and I did. I had roots on what I chopped. However, it must not have been enough to sustain the big leaves with the fenestrations that I had, because I ended up having root rot. And after the root rot, I had one fenestration leaf left, and she aborted a leaf that she was trying to have before I chopped her. It was aborted, and then after I got her back to growing again, she started pushing that leaf out, and she pushed it out. Eventually, it was stunted, and it had fenestration, and it was stunted. and it was trying to grow a leaf and it never did. And honestly, I just got frustrated, and I no longer have the plant. And I also got frustrated because if you've seen my last video when I was trying to repot the Deliciosa and getting rid of the tie pieces I threw in, I called it my kitchen sink Monstera. They were too lanky, and quite frankly, after watching multiple videos of Sydney Plant Guy, he kept reiterating that you shouldn't put Monsteras in large pots because they'll just only focus on root growth and not actually growing the plant itself. And I think that's what ended up happening with both of them, because I assumed because the root ball was so big, you have to have it in a big pot. Well, in hindsight, if I would have known that, I would have put them in a lot smaller pot and see how it would have done. So I'm taking what I've learned from the last year with my Deliciosa, and I'm going to do it with these plants. So the biggest drawback losing the other plant was it was kind of like an umbrella for these two plants. And I've learned that the Albo does not like direct light of any kind. And this is why I'm having, if you see here, there's black spots here. And that's directly because of the grow lights on top of it. And I'm stuck because, I mean, it has to be under the grow light. I mean, and it's not even directly under it. It's all the way onto the floor. And we have probably 11 feet. I'm going to say 11 feet, guessing wise, because I'm 6 foot. Ceilings in here. And the grow lights are way up top. So, and this is sitting on the floor. So I just don't think that it likes the direct light. So I'm going to have to figure that out. I did have it over here for a while, but then as you see, my Anthuriums have exploded up here, and I've pushed them all the way up, meaning I brought all the big ones up so I get a nice, beautiful aesthetics with all the leaves. I love that look. So I had to move her back into the Monstera corner. But now without the other one, she's just getting all direct light. So, yeah. Well, there's pros and cons, you know, to everything that you do in this hobby, but that's just life, right? Now, so this one I've only had for approximately 8 weeks, so 2 months maybe, and that might even be too much. But this is the lemon lime version of the Deliciosa. I bought this from Rare Plant Foliage as well. And obviously anyone in the plant community know that this is a quite pricey Monstera. But it's beautiful. And I didn't want to start small, which is why I bought this cutting. If they would have had a cutting like this of the lemon lime, I would have done that rather than buy the full plant, but they didn't. And the newest leaf is right here. So under my care, she's come out, and she's just still growing, and I need to be extremely careful. I don't want to hurt this plant, but I want to show you this here. All my mess down here. So if you see, if I can get this thing to focus on me, on this rather than me, but I don't know if you can see this. Let me turn this on. Where is it? Okay. So this pole is kind of in the way. So I'm going to take the pole out because we're going to replace it anyways. But if you see, I think it's down too far. That's already in the dirt, but there's also this one where my finger is. Come on. Right there. Well, I'll show it to you later, but that is starting to grow another aroid, and I want that in the moss pole because I want it to start climbing. Because what will happen here is if you unless you're new to the plants aroid world, what will happen here is as these grow, if they're on the moss pole, the aroids will make roots. They won't make roots on this. This holds no moisture and it's only for support. But it would crawl up this. However, you would have to air layer your aroids for at least 3 months in plastic bags to get enough roots to be able to chop your plant and make another and do another plant if you want to do that. And I know I'm going to want to do that with these in the future. So I'm preparing for that move, but I'm not going to make the same mistake as I did last year on my other plant. So that is why I'm going to do moss poles today. And I want to do them now. And I might even entertain putting this in a smaller pot, but I don't know. I don't think I will. These are not too big. They might be 8 inches, which is bigger than what Sydney Plant Guy, yeah, it's 8 inches. He would not have his in 8 inches at this size. So I might consider reducing plant pots while we're doing this. Now, for the exciting news, let me show you the new one that I just got this week. I've been wanting this plant for so long. I can't find the Esquelleto, Monstera Esqueleto anywhere. And I asked Yibo from Rare Foliage to, if she had these Esqueletos, and she said she didn't, but she would get some in, and she did. And so for Labor Day, she had a sale for this plant for Grower's Choice, once again, for Grower's Choice for $40. And I took it. Now, this plant did not get sent UPS overnight like all my other anthuriums and plants that I've bought, mainly because for $40, I didn't want any other plant. I didn't want to spend $50 in shipping overnight for a $40 plant. I don't know. I don't even know if that makes sense because I really wanted this plant. And I think the reason the leaves look as bad as they do, and today's Saturday, so I've had this plant for 4 days. This is the 4th day, and it's been watered, fertilized, and cared for greatly. And I haven't even repotted it yet, guys. But the leaves are in kind of bad shape, and I don't know if that's. I definitely from shipping. It was in there for 2 days. I did do UPS 2 days, which was only like $17, so it's a big difference. But the leaves are pretty bung up, and this one here is a brand new leaf. And as you can see, it's still growing out. So I hope that after I get it acclimated here, it starts pushing itself out. It looks like they either cut or they broke off this leaf. It wasn't shipping, it was at the nursery. I don't know if she bought it this way or if, or if not, or if she cut it off because maybe it was really big and she couldn't get in a box. But typically Yibo can get big plants in a box without cutting. This one here, this Anthurium Red Crystal Michelle, no, Red Crystal Black Widow Cross Michelle is what I think it is. That's a brand new leaf. And she was able to get the plant, which this leaf blows away the leaves that the plant came with. But those were huge leaves, guys. Let me show you. I've been wanting to show off my anthuriums for so long. The growth is spectacular this in July, just spectacular. And honestly, I think it's the new fertilizer, but I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. I might have said it in the other video, but I do think that it is fertilizer. My gimbal's going to freak out when I can't see my face. So this is an original leaf. This is not the biggest. I actually had to cut the biggest leaf off when this one was growing. It was trying to grow up underneath that big old leaf. And I was like, I'm not gonna have this leaf hindered at all. So I cut that old leaf. And now I'm glad that I did. So this is the biggest of the original. And then I have another original leaf here. But you're not going to be able to see it very well. So here's the original leaf. And then here's my newest leaf. Look at this leaf. Now it's starting to turn green now, so it's hardening off. And I measured this at 2 feet, I believe. That was maybe a week ago. I don't know. Let's see. Let's go to 2 feet. But that might be, oh, it's hard to do. I'm afraid I'm going to knock my plants over, guys. So, yeah, it's not 2 feet. So, if I shrink this down here, let's go to 50, let's go to 20 inches. Okay, so it's 20 inches in length, and then going across, it's 15. Spectacular. Spectacular. Love this plant. But I only bring this up because she shipped this plant with this leaf, and another big leaf like this, and there was no breakage. So I don't think it was her at all. But look at that. I mean, stunner of a plant. I'm speechless with my anthuriums. I really am. There's not a plant that I love more than these anthuriums. And I don't think I can say I have a favorite. Actually, I know I can't because I love all of them. I do have some I regret buying. Maybe I'll do a video on that, but I don't have a favorite. So that is what we're up to. Let's get started because I have a lot of work to do here. It's right here. I'm going to start with this newbie first. I'm going to put these guys, I think, on the floor. This guy's blocking my light. But I do need to figure out what I'm going to do with that one. I don't like that browning on my whites in that leaf. And I know it's from the light. What I probably need to do is, I don't have any other big plant. This is my fault. I shouldn't have given up on that other Monstera, but it is what it is. And it was so heavy. I didn't, you know, I just didn't want to deal with it anymore. I need to make more mix too, and I'll probably do that off camera or speed it up. I haven't decided yet. I don't want to torture you guys for too long. Although I know I've said this before, plant videos are pretty much all I watch, and I can watch a plant video for hours, like I did the 6-hour marathon. Now I think I watched maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours at a time on that one, but I finished it during my break, my vacation days that I had. I just can sit for hours and watch plants, especially if they're the genus that I really like. Or if the planty creator is extremely good at it. And I don't know, I'm not that good at it, but I'm getting there, I think. Or at least I feel like it. But I can watch pretty much any plant video. It's just, it's all dependent on the length of it, what plant it is, and how entertaining the video is. And the person doesn't have to talk. The person doesn't have to be great at it, because we're just normal planty hobbyists, right? For me, it's all about the quality, maybe, what it looks like behind the person. That just draws me in, is the aesthetics of the plants. Sometimes, if they talk too much, I can't deal with that. It gives me kind of like anxiety or something. It's really odd. You know what I mean? What I mean is I feel in my body this anxiety, or this tension that's starting to happen in my chest, because it's just too much. It's just too much chat. Although it's good, it's just too much. And sometimes I just really want a break from that. And then maybe I'll come back, but maybe I won't either. It just depends. Looks like they're using some tree fern in this one, which is good, but it feels very heavy, very clay-like, I guess, or peaty maybe. But not even that, because I use peat moss, but it's mostly tree fern, and it doesn't feel like this. It just feels heavy. Sludgy. Sludgy is a good word for it. Roots look good, but it's hard to see because it's the light in here. I mean, even though I have a light blaring in my face, I have bad eyes, and when lights glare at me into my face, I can't see very well. So ideally, if I had it down, it would be great. You know, one thing I forgot is to bring my Mac over here. So I think I'm gonna go wash this outside and see what we have going on, and then I'm gonna set my Mac up. So yeah, that's all rot right there. Right there's all rot. So then that way you guys can see what I'm doing. I like doing that. I've gotten good feedback from you guys about seeing that extra side video. Yeah, there's a lot of rot here. It looks like that's probably it, but I can't tell. There's still some slimy ones coming off. Alright, so I'm going to put this. Do I want it in here? No. I'm going to dump this and this. Trash and take this outside. I'll be back. All right, so I washed it off and I want to show you what I found here. So if you can see, this thing would follow you instead of me, but right there, I don't know if you can see it. Let me try over here. So right here, there's a growth point. And I'm considering chopping this off because we have roots. If you see this here, if I chop it here, I could get another plant. Because what I'm afraid of, I don't know, this just looks, I'm not familiar with this plant, but this just looks really fragile to me. Do I want to back up? I guess I have a backup. If it doesn't work out, and as long as this is alive, this root, I could cut it and propagate. But overall, the roots look really good. What's we have here? The leaves do not, obviously, but that's okay. The pot that I was going to use, and knowing what I had just said, it's way too big. Do you see that? Way too big. Way too big. So I got a smaller one, as you can see here, and this will be perfect. However, the moss pole I was going to use was a large, because I really didn't want to have to, as it grows, to redo it. But I think this is way too big. Yeah, I mean, see that? You barely get any room for the plant. All right, and that's okay, because that's why I buy these front moss poles. In theory, I haven't had to do it yet, but in theory, I should just be able to take the plant out, put it in a new one without any hassle. We'll see. We'll find out most likely on my queen before anyone else, because she's been on the moss pole now since I repotted her. I don't remember when. But I'll also link that in this video, because it was the best decision I ever made when it came to that plant. So this is a medium size moss pole. It'll fit better in here, and it might even be just fine. It'll be fine for this plant too, since it's so small. I've been tempted to buy the same pole as Jan does, but I don't want all that probable or possible damage that he takes his through when he changes or chops the plant and takes the plant out of the moss pole. I don't know if you've seen his queen on the moss pole or not, but she's fine. She lived through it fine, but to me, as nice as that pole is, and I think I would like it better than this one, because what I don't like about this one is the plant, when it's leaning on this plastic, it hurts the plant stem. And I've noticed that with the queen, and so I have to actually keep these out so it doesn't touch the stem, and then as it grows past it, I'll hook them together, which is fine, but ideally you don't want, you know, you want to have all these clasped all the time, but you can't. And what I think I'm going to do is try to figure out a way to soften these things. In other words, there should be something that I should be able to put on this plastic to be able to cover this harsh, that the weight of the plant doesn't get hurt, you know, or it doesn't get cuts in it from these things. I'm still thinking about no drainage, where I'm going to go with that. Especially with my Anthurium, because they seem to love it in there. But yeah, I don't know yet what I'm going to do. I'm just glad that they aren't real fast growers, that these little ones are staying little, so I don't have to decide so quickly. All right, so that's it. Now, what I always have problems with is which is the right way. Does this go at the bottom? So you have this long part. Does that go to the bottom or does that go to the top? Does the ladder go all the way to the bottom or does it go this way? I have no clue. I tried stacking because I thought, well, maybe this needs to be up top to stack with the other one, but I don't think that matters, because if you see here, this is what would be at the top of the next one. This would be at the top then, and so I don't think it matters. And I don't know, and I should have found out before I bought these. Are these even stackable? I guess we'll find out. I think you can stack them. It just won't be great. So this is what we got. So this is a better size. It still seems a little big though, but I think it'll be fine for this plant. I'm still considering chopping that off, but yeah, so I don't, it's gonna be a tight squeeze. That's my only thing. It won't be tight in here though. It's not bad when you look at it. But it is if it has the full pot to itself. I'm afraid that the roots will get bugged up in this. I think I'm gonna go with this, guys. Because this is gonna be in here, I'm gonna go with the bigger one. I think this would be perfect if I wasn't using the moss pole yet. I just don't want any damage to the roots. You know, we got the rod off. They're cleaned up now. I'm gonna put the mica on it while I'm thinking of it. So I use the Great White. I've seen other people use different, but I see more people use this, so I'm just like, yeah, well, whatever. I'll just keep using what I've got. I'm not gonna put any leca at the bottom of this. Don't really need it for these. I really only going to put leca at the bottom of no drainage and my Anthurium. I don't sit these ever in water. Do I need, so let's see what we got. Substrate wise, I think I want to add more chunks. This is too, this is not a big enough chunks for this. Yeah. Let's see here. This is just not enough chunks. So what I'm going to do is add a little more stuff, and we'll just so I don't have to do this multiple times. This tree fern bag is so much better than the prior ones that I've had. It came from this company. It's moist and it's not all fibrous, dusty particles. It's much better. I topped up my Anthuriums the other night with it. That's why it was a lot more not thick. I didn't want a lot of chunks with that. Granted, I don't want a whole lot of chunks because I never know one day the next like what I need my substrate for. But I use this for all my plants except for the lithops and cactus and the kings and dracernas. This is nice. Feels good. I'm still thinking about videos on going over all my plants. I was asked to do, or if I had done, a plant tour. I have not. I just feel like that would be a long drawn out video where I don't want to have to hold the camera, which I would have to do. My hands couldn't handle that, so I'm not sure if I'll do it. We'll see. I really do want to share all of my plants and their growth though. So I might come up with something. What I'm thinking about doing is videoing the plants and then doing a voiceover of the plants so it doesn't last as long so my hands don't cramp and hurt. I've seen some really successful, when I say successful, I like it. I like the video of some of the plant creators that have done that because I'm very picky when it comes to that stuff. I like I've said, I like this kind of plant videos. I don't care for show and tells and These are my favorite plants this month. I don't like it. It just irritates me. I don't know why. It just does. I don't think I've ever watched one all the way through. And I typically watch all the videos all the way through when I start them. Uh-oh, we've got dogs. I think our neighbors moved. I haven't seen their dogs for a couple of days. And last night I noticed that their curtains were open and it was dark, and I'm like, just bumming. I'm just bumming, you know? I hate that. I hate change. And I know I should like change, but I don't. It's hard for me for some reason. I was, a couple years ago, I started listening to, oh, what's his name? Joe. If I can think of it, future Sheri will put it on the screen. I'll put his name up there. And the books that I read. And I started doing his meditations. And basically why I'm thinking of it right now is because he believes that you can change your pathways, your mind pathways, by doing change. Make yourself change something, even if it's driving to work, if it's going to a different coffee place, if it's you know, how you shower or brush your teeth with your right hand, do it with your left. But if you force yourself to change, it opens up your brain, your nervous pathways or whatever, and it makes your body better. I mean, he believed in healing and stuff like that, which I'm not dissing that. I'm not saying that's not true, but I will say that when I practiced his meditations, I didn't feel old like I kind of feel today, like with change, you know. I don't know. So, all that said, I think change is good for us, and I need to be doing what I tried to practice a couple of years ago. All right, this is going to be difficult. I think I want the thinner pearl. I need to buy more. I keep forgetting because this is all I have. Just pour it in. Stuff makes a mess. Okay, so I said I was going to use the bigger one, right? That's the smaller one. What did I do with the bigger one? Oh, here it is. I think though what I will do is add some perlite, this big perlite at the bottom. I like doing that because strictly for drainage. I don't want, with having that at the bottom, it allows your plant to drain better after you water it. And I flush my plants every week in the shower. And I want to make sure all of that gets, I need to think of something, gets, flushed out, all that water. So I am going to put this at the bottom. Or am I? I think, no, I'm going to do it this way. And then I need to open these up. So what I'm going to do is, that's not what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to do it this way. Because I want to open up. No, I want to keep this one clamped, I think. I want to keep this one clamped, and I want to open this one up, I think. So what I'm going to do is open these up. I brought some stones in from outside because I don't have anything to put at the bottom of this, and I don't want to waste what I have either. This will make the pot a little heavier, but it is what it is. So if I do that, maybe one more. This guy. Poor guy, he's gonna be really, he's probably upset being here. So if you see in here, this is what I did. So if you see here, I've got these clasps holding the rocks in. I'll put the moss all the way up, and I'll have the plant sitting on top of this. The roots will grow down, but then eventually grow up into the moss as it grows. That's my thought. So I want right now, and see, these are a real pain, just to be honest. This is why I would really love to have the what Jan uses instead. But I'm not convinced that that's a better pull, because when I go to take this plant out, all I have to do is unclip all of these and bring it out. There is no tearing the roots out of all of the what it's grown in. So let's go ahead and put some dirt in here. Now I want the moss pole leaning like this. I don't want to waste space, but at the same time I want more room for this plant. So I think having it lean, and then as it grows out, you know, we have the weight, we have more structure here. I don't know. It doesn't really matter because I'll be repotting it before that probably anyways. I know myself too well. I know in a bigger pot, like even my queen who's in a 10-inch, I have the pole leaning as back as far as it could go, but I do have substrate back there for support like I'm gonna do with this one. So, this is difficult. I want to start some of these inside of here. The moss. Just wing it, guys. We just wing it. I'm going to set it on top of these rocks. See, if I cut this extra thing off, I'd have better chance, I feel like. I don't know. I don't want that in the moss pole. What I want in the moss pole is this aroid. Doesn't even matter because it really would help grip in the plant, I think, if I don't do that. Gosh, these stupid little straps. Alright, so I think I'm gonna do, let's do this, and then I'm gonna cut. Am I gonna cut? No, I'm gonna let the new one grow in and keep this one out here. Let it wrap around the bottom. I am gonna take this off. There's no reason to keep it. That. Now I'm going to wrap. wrap this around for support. Come on. And we're going to fill pot in. So my husband, who watches my videos, told me the other day he doesn't like, he has to turn his head when I poke in the substrate with my, my needle, because he's afraid it's going to hurt the roots. And I thought that was so cute. But he made me start thinking about it. I mean, I've thought about it before, but I've always heard how important it is to make sure you get all your air pockets out. So I think what I'm going to do, so there, I have noticed that there are times I have to, like right now, like if I'm not going to poke the roots because I know they're all the way down, but what I could do is I just want to make sure, you know, that can help me move the dirt around a little bit, there where my fingers can't, because I don't want to push too hard on the substrate, but just like that. Because what really helps the most is by doing this packs, it really helps pack the dirt down and it gets in between the roots. So really that's enough. So I'm going to try not to do that anymore. Now when I water, I find there's a lot of times where I have to poke in there because water will skip, because I can see it when it comes in using the clear plastic. There's a lot of times where I have to, I don't have a choice, because I need to make sure the roots in that area are getting water. For some reason or another, there are times where it's got air pockets or something, and so you have to address that, where this isn't enough. So like in this case, I just want to move this around to the other side because I have less over there. I think that's probably enough for now. Substrate looks good to me. And you see how, I don't know if you can see up here, but I have learned to zoom. If you see here, it's sitting on the moss, So all the aeroids that come out and the roots will then grow into the moss pole, and then it'll work itself up. So since I think I'm done with this for now, I'm going to go ahead and put this away. I don't think I need this anymore. Let's see. I'm really nervous about doing the other two plants, to be honest with you. But they're both very young now, and I don't want to wait till they're bigger and then have regrets because it's heavy or whatnot, you know. And it'll give me a chance to look to see if maybe I should reduce the size of the pot. Maybe too late now, but we'll see. So now, I'm going to go to the top here, and then I'll use my needle to move it in. I'll move it around. So, my dilemma here is these are open, right? So when what I'm gonna do, and this is where I get concerned about it hurting a plant, is I'll be getting this off right here, and I'll be shutting these and probably cutting this last one. We'll see. I don't want it digging in. What I might do is put some moss on these edges so it doesn't hurt the plant. I noticed the other day my queen had some cuts into the new one that's growing, and I was like freaking out because I was like, I worked way too hard on these plants to have it hurt the leaves and the stem, you know? So what I think I'm going to do here is that I'm going to go ahead and close it because I don't want it to keep dropping out. So I think what I can do on this one, and hopefully you can see me, everything's closed, so I'm going to assume you can. Remove this. Close this. I don't think I need moss on this one. It's hard to see though. My gimbal's gonna break out if you can't see my face. This is where it gets quite frustrating with these kind of poles, is having to clasp these around the plant. I'm going to take my gloves off for now. So what I don't want, okay, let me think. I don't want this leaf, and I don't want, the problem here is this leaf. This leaf is not the one growing this leaf. This leaf is this tall one. And I want the new leaf to be locked in. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off. So rethinking here. So I want, in this case, maybe what I should do in this case is wrap it in this, or see, if I pull too hard, this is going to come off, and I don't want to do that. But I don't really want it locked in with the stem, but maybe I don't worry about that now. I don't know. In theory, if I put this back on, let's do this. Want it right there. I don't know, hopefully you can see me on the side. It's black, but I'm assuming you can see me. So now what I want is to get this bottom one in here and not that one. It reduces the thickness and it allows that new growth to grow without the other one leaning against it. This is a lot easier without a plant. So I've got it there. I want it centered. That's the hardest thing with the moss poles is these plants as they grow, they don't stay centered. And so you have to weave it in and out, which is why I really wanted the larger pole to start with this, but it'll be okay, I think. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Now, I want to take this second one and do the same thing. So you see the madness, guys? I don't know if you can see here, but you probably can. What I'm doing is I'm layering in these to where I believe is the right spot for the plant to grow without any hindrances of the other stem. Because remember that as this plant grows, it grows upward and leaves these other stems alone, right? You know, they just hang out till they die. And you don't want to lock in a stem that's not meant to be with the other one as it grows. At least in my mind, I don't. There we go. Okay. So this is bothering me because it's leaning. So I may have to add more in here. Most all the roots are way down here. I have that aeroid wrapping around this way. Oh, is that? No, that's not him. Good. It's just tree fern. But I have it wrapping around this direction. So I can push on this like this, where typically I don't, because like aeroids or whatnot are way up there. This one's too new. And I've got it in a position where we're good, I think. So now we're going to go ahead and add more moss. I don't add it all the way up, but I might. I honestly, only because I don't like adding it as time goes on. Like with the queen, I started out this way, and then as she grew, I just added moss in. And then eventually, I don't know if you can see it over here, but I've got it all the way up to the top now. because she's almost up there, even though it doesn't look like it, but her roots are going upwards. I'll be real curious how the next leaf is. I really hope that it's sizing up for sure. For sure. I'm just really hoping a big one to this time, and I'm really hoping it's before winter. Okay, I gotta be careful these holes. Do that. We're gonna go up this way. What I like about the rock idea is as the plant grows, it does add extra weight, so it won't lean forward and fall face on its face. They aren't that big of rocks, obviously, but it'll help. Do I need this anymore? Probably not. Or what I want to do now is take this one and put it in its place. So, see, it's leaning already. So we've got to work on this. We're going to put this guy behind him. And then lock it in place. Yeah, that's good. Let's see what I've got so far up here. Let's see what I've got so far here. I love plant chore Saturdays and Sundays. I'm thinking of having, like, just change it to be like, you know, Sheri's Leaves, weekend repot plant chores, or some kind of episode name. Cause you know what, I'll be honest, I can't stand coming up with titles. I've been asking AI, and it's been helping me. It's really been writing the titles for me after I tell it what the video is about. I can't stand doing that part. I just really want to upload it and be done. But you guys need titles. And honestly, I don't really look at titles. I look at the thumbnail. I do look at the titles. I don't look at the descriptions. Unless I want to click on the bookmarks, you know, depending on what it is, or go to a certain place. But, and it's just a lot of time. It's a lot of time, consuming time for creators like myself and everyone to put so much thought into something that people don't really care about. Because if I see, you know, a thumbnail and I'm like, oh, look at that, I'm going in regardless what the title is. But I will say, if the title says something Hoya, I probably won't go in. But if it's a creator I follow, I may go in depending on my mood. I do create Hoya videos because I know how much you guys love Hoya. And you want something different than Anthurium all the time. So, but if it were up to me, I probably would never do Hoya videos, but they're not, I mean, they're fun, but I don't know a lot about Hoya. I just chop them and hope they grow. So far, so good. One thing I'm still not sure what I'm going to do for winter is, am I going to put moss on every plant that I own, alocasia and Anthurium at the top for humidity and moisture? I don't know, and the reason I don't know is because, one, I don't like it. Two, as long as I keep the tree fern soil up around its aeroids, I don't feel I need it, because tree fern holds moisture not as long as moss, because like my queen has, I have it up and around her. She's the only one that has it. And she's always has moisture around her. I may only do it to the plants that I'm most concerned about, which would be her. My Regale, I'm really going to go for my Regale, guys. We don't see enough Regales on YouTube, and I want to show I know how to grow her, and I grow her well. That's my goal. And so I'm thinking about that one. My Michelle does not need it, although she grew very ugly leaves over the winter. I don't know. I'm really hoping I could just make these plants go dormant by not giving them fertilizer. And I'm pretty sure that's what I'm going to end up doing, is I'm not going to fertilize after October, where last year I did it every watering still, thinking to myself, well, yeah, it's an indoor plant, it needs its fertilizer. Well, yeah, it does, but what I didn't realize back then is it's going to continue growing like it is like now, and I don't want that. I mean, I do want that, but I don't want that during the winter when we have 15% humidity in the house. I'm hoping, and I would like to try this new fertilizer all winter long, because I honestly think that it could potentially stop that. So I might take 1 or 2 plants and do it, and then stop all the others and see what happens. I just thought about that as I'm sitting here talking to myself and you guys. I may just go ahead and do a test and see. All right, so I think this is good enough for now. She's not going to be growing up this, I don't think, very quickly. Because when you think of it, her rear's down here. And then as she grows, she'll slowly make her way up, and the roots will wrap around here. So I think I'm good for now with this one. Do I want to add more? Yes, I want to add more. My dogs are asleep. Missy's in here sound asleep on my chair. I don't know where Boobs is. I think he's in the other room. He gave up on his mother. Oh, this is when my hand's wet, so I can't get this back on easily. I don't want to touch the substrate with my hands because it really impacts my skin condition, my eczema. Sugar's pretty. Tree fern, I think. A tree fern mix is so pretty. It's really a perfect substrate. It's good in no drainage. It's good in moss poles. It's good in pot like this. I mean, it is more expensive, but to me it's worth it. It's when I do all these repots when I start really second guessing myself, because whoa. When I was doing all those repots, December, January, February, March, April, on all of my Anthurium, it's like, holy smokes, so funny. I went through it so quickly. Doesn't take long. Okay, I think she looks great. I think she's gonna be happy here. She went through a lot to get here, but she's going to enjoy life here. She's all tucked in, ready for success. I don't have it centered right. That really angers me, but oh well. When she gets a bigger pot, we'll worry about it. Or a bigger moss pole, whichever comes first. Okay, now for the scary part. Sure does make a mess. I wanted to sit on the floor today, but I wasn't about to do it to my hips. I gotta work out later. I want to be able to move. I want to be able to walk, you know. I already have enough trouble with that with my foot. So. Plus, put me up here, you can see all my beautiful Anthurium, and that's what I like. I'd like you to be able to see that. That's why we do this. Or that's why I do it. And I don't do it for any money. It's just a hobby, and for me to share my plants with everybody and to make new friends. Because most of the people I know aren't plant people. I know one plant person at work, but we don't really talk every day. And then my mom's a plant person. But other than that, I don't have any planty friends in the area. None that can appreciate my love for them. Let's put it that way. All right, let's do the scariest first. And that's this beautiful one. So I have to tell you, since now that we're talking about this plant, you see, it's better, but and I'll put pictures when I first got it. When I first got this plant, there was yellow all around this leaf and all around this leaf. But you see how it's actually gotten so much better. And so Yivo has she has a server on, I can't remember what it's called. I'll put it on the screen because I can't remember. But she has her server on there, and a lot of plant people have their own channels on this thing. And so I joined it, and she offers a clinic for plants. And she has a guy on there, Brian, I think is his name, and he will help you with your plants. So when I got this, I put a picture of it out there. What angered me is he made it sound like I did this when I just got it that day. And I said, no, you didn't read what I said. I said, I just received this from Evo, and this is what it looks like. And I told him what I potted it up in, what my mix was. I fertilized it with 20-20-20 fertilizer. So it was all set, but it came this way. That being said, he said that this needed, I don't remember the words, and if I can, in future Sheri could put up what he said to me on what he believed this was, I'll put it up on B-roll. And that he basically said it needs potassium. I think it was potassium or CalMag. And that's what drove me to a new fertilizer, because even though I really like Jack's 20-20-20, it doesn't have CalMag in it. So what I'm using now has CalMag in it, and it's filling this in. I mean, there's a huge difference now than when I got it. And I also know because of this leaf that it's just come out. It's loving life. So I'm still, I think I told you in one of my other videos what it was, but don't go buying it unless you want to. I don't know yet. I jumped into the game. I mean, I was only going to do one plant, which was this one with it, and the Regale. Because I've heard another planty person watching this Regale Anthurium video that he was doing, and he said he had no problems with his Regale because of this specific aeroid food from Russo plants. And so I immediately went and bought it, and that's what I was going to use for that one and for this one. But I ended up putting it on all of mine. I didn't wait to see what the outcome is. I still believe it's because that fertilizer, I'm getting the growth that I'm getting on my plants. What I don't know yet is it causing some dryness on some of the leaves, because I noticed it on one of my Michelle leaves that I didn't have before. So just take my word for it. If you want to buy it, you go ahead, but that's on you. I'm just saying that's how I did it. And I'm just kind of that type person. I tell my husband that it's probably not nice to say, but I always say you just go, and you don't think twice about it. You go 110%, and that's what I do with my plants. I didn't want to wait. I was like, I want to do it now. So I ended up fertilizing all of them, and I've been doing it since. So, yeah. So you guys just be careful if you decide you want to get that. And know that you should probably only do it on one plant and see how that works. All right, so let's see here. This is trash. It's trash, and I need something to dump. Here we go. I've got this one here. This is trash. This pot down here. Almost knocked over the moss. Okay. This here. I really hate disturbing this plant. But we're going to do it. We're going to just do it. Oh, wait, I need my other glove. Yeah, so I'll show you the Regale. You've probably seen it already because I'm doing multiple shorts every week now, but maybe you haven't. That new leaf is in stellar. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. I hate losing this, but hopefully I'll be able to reuse this mix. Let me Since it's so new, I feel like I'll be able to get it out of here pretty easy. Hang in there, little guy. You're gonna like what I'm about to do to you. See this aroid? It's growing out the bottom. This is really hard, guys. I'm gonna move this, even though I like the aesthetics. I don't want it being knocked off. That would be sad. Here it comes. Okay, that was easy. Yeah, that pot's way too big, I think. You really look at it. That's all we're talking here. I'm not going to clear this off. Ooh, how did cocoa core get in there? Oh, that's not cocoa core, it's tree fern. I think what I'm gonna do here, see all these new roots growing? Let me think. If I don't use this pot, I'm going to need to take this off. All right, first of all, let's get a moss pot. I washed these today. Other plants were using them that don't exist anymore. This is a large, and I want to put that in a large. And that that root ball will not fit in here with this large pole. I'm not upgrading this pot. This is always the hard part. So let's take off very gently. What we got here? Just gently take some of this bulk off. Should use the bigger bowl. Take on it. Very gently knock off some of the bulk. Don't disturb the roots. Very, very gentle. Okay. All right. That reduces the size. It's still going to be tight. It's going to be tight. That's where I really like Jan's poles. It's flatter and it's not so fat. Do I get a medium like this one? No, because it's way too, that plant's way too big for a medium. I really will have to try to push this back as far as I can. I want to open up as much as I could and have it sit in moss. So let's get our perlite. Drainage. I want to pull in. Oops. There's these little plastic things in this pot. I don't know why they did it, but they're in my way. And that peeves me off. Good enough. What I really want is to put it here in a corner where there's no push out. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put perlite around the pole. I know you can't see any of this. Or maybe you can, I don't know. And then I'm going to add my rocks. I'm going to add bottom. Oops. Right to there. No, they're coming out. It's the part about the large I don't like. I like the mediums much better. Stack them this way. Ah, my gloves! Driving me crazy. Got a flat one here that I need to put. Problem is these rocks, it's not ideal, but I need to prevent all of that stuff from falling down, you know what I'm saying? The moss. It's my last rock. So I think that is good enough. if I put that in here, these are going to be in the way. But I don't want to cut them. I feel like that it's just too tall. I want it sitting inside there, so I don't think this is going to work, guys. This pot's too small now. That in there. What I need is someone to hold this for me. I'd like to cut them off, but I can't because I have to do what I did with the other one. All right, let me think a second. I'm gonna go out in the garage. Well, I brought another pot in, but it's not gonna work. And I refuse to upsize, knowing what I know. The pot I brought in is, oh, this is a mess. The pot I brought in is this tall. And I thought, well, maybe because the talls don't have this angle going on, like this pot has an angle, this one does not. The problem with this one is it's too narrow, where this one is more wide as it goes up, which I think I need. So that was a waste. All right, so I need not to be afraid. But I am. Ideally, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not doing it. Ideally, though, I could chop this plant right here and only have this to contend with, because all of this is really unnecessary. But when I say unnecessary is I don't want these leaves. These are just, they're baby leaves, right? It's just not necessary for me. But I bet you I could probably chop the stem to help me, but I'm not doing it. I hate doing it. No more. Not right now. So I just have to thin this out. I don't have a choice. I'm just going to gently try to, because it's new and fresh, just gently get in here. Because I've got to be able to maneuver this in there. And in theory, I don't have to have it straight up. Although I'd like to. Roots look great. All right. Now, let me think. So if I put it in there, I'm going to go ahead and fill up. Oh, thank God, it's stupid glove. What am I going to fill up? What was I thinking? Before I lose all my rocks. So I'm going to go ahead and start doing this. I am going to get it on a moss pole. I keep telling myself I am. Can't put too much dirt in here because it needs to all go down. So can I block that somehow? I don't think this is gonna work. This isn't tape. Yeah, it's not going to work. Da da da. All I want to say to you. Now, moss. This is like surgery. Wait, let me think a second. Yeah, moss. Putting it on top of the rocks. More in there. Now it can sit on the moss. I don't think I can fit this tool in here for the weight. with this pole. I see potential where I can cut off some of this plastic. So I'm going to do just that. I can cut off this one. Locked. All right, so I want it up in there. I've got its aeroids where I think I want them. All right, so where'd my cake go? So essentially, you can see, I don't know if you can, but we've got aeroids going to be growing in on top of the moss that I have him sitting on. It'll grow down obviously into the rocks and back out into the bottom. I think this will be okay, guys. I think this will be okay. I'm wanting back a little more. We'll worry about the straps later. I gotta tell you, I was stressed, guys. Very stressed. I don't want to hurt this plant for nothing. I want him to sit back a little further. So it's pulling back a little more. Help me pot him up. I got rid of this. I don't think I need this one, do I? No. I'm gonna get rid of this one. All right. So let's start filling it back in. This is where I'm gonna have to use the thing. So close your eyes, honey. I have to get this down underneath, down to where the roots are. If I had room in this pot, if I upgraded, I would not have to do this, but honestly, I have a lot of room here. I'm not touching the roots at all. I'm just moving the substrate around the roots. Make sure they're all covered. Because they like to have a blanket. no roots back here because they weren't long enough. But I need to make sure there's substrate down there so they can grow in it. Guess we're gonna have a cloudy day today. The sun's now gonna come out. Guess you can see that to the side there. I decided to face you this way in hopes you could see plants over here, but it's really not a great look either because the plant lights are on. I thought it was better than the hallway you had the last few times. I thought about, when I got this plant, I thought about putting it on the moss pole that night. I was like, oh, I'll deal with it later. Bad choice. Because what that did to me is I had to bother this plant after it finally got real happy, pushed out a new leaf in the substrate that it really likes, you know, and it's like, don't do that, Sheri. Slow down. I need to slow down when my plants come and not feel like I'm in a rush to unbox, pot them up and put them away, you know, on the shelf. I don't know. I know I've talked about it before, but I get in this hurry because it's a weeknight and I don't want to deal with it on the weeknight, but I have to deal with it on the weeknight, or I don't have to. Like this plant, I let it sit in the substrate for 3.5 days, so I wasn't happy about it. You saw the roots and you saw that it was rotting, you know, so there's a risk there. I watched NXC Plants recently, and he summed it up pretty much like I do, is you repot right away into the substrate you trust. When it comes from a nursery or when it comes from other places, it's only meant to be temporary. It's not meant to be in there to acclimate. You want it to acclimate in your setting, not its setting where it's no longer at. So, and I mean, he did. He said that. I was like, yes, finally, somebody agrees with me. And he's like, you give your plant better chance and help if you repot it in your mix with your fertilizer and your environment that way. And I kept thinking about that this week. I kept thinking, well, maybe I should repot it now instead of waiting for Saturday and do it with you all. But I said, I'm not in the mood. I want to be able to enjoy my evenings at home after work and not have to repot or do all what I'm doing today, you know? I like to do that on my weekends. It's long. So you have this mix is the mix I was talking about a few minutes ago, that when I opened up that one, the newest, when I made my DIY mix with you guys, and I made a mention that the last bit that I got wasn't great, that's this one that we're dealing with. It had these big chunks of bark for some unknown reason inside there, and the tree fern was just not great. But this plant liked it, apparently. So that's all that matters. As long as my plants like it. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I want to get all that moss down in here so it can start being happy, cozy in there. Do I want moss? Or, yes, I do want moss. Moss is already down there, so we're going to go ahead and do that. May not have enough for the other one. I know I won't. Probably won't have enough for this one. It's 10:15. We've been doing this, what did I say? 7:30? Wow, time flies. I could do this all day, guys. And then I'm exhausted. And then I go to work out. I will do this all day most likely at this point. Because I have plants that I have to water, but I'll do that later, probably this evening. I like doing my watering at night. I used to not feel like I could do that. I used, people, oh, you gotta water in the morning so, it doesn't sit in water all night. Well, it's gonna sit in water all night anyways, especially the way I water. So it's like, doesn't make a hell of a difference. Just do what makes you guys happy, How one person does something doesn't mean you have to. Hopefully, if anything you get out of my channel is you get that. Be comfortable in your plant skills and learn from them. like I do. And try not to be afraid. All right, so here, I want to pull that moss down a little bit. I want to snap things up a little. So how's this gonna look? Or how's this? So I don't want this leaf where it's at. Here's where it's gonna get questionable because it's such a big plant. And I don't want these plastic things going into it. So I think I'll do is do like last time. Can I? No, I can't. I'm going to take this first one and put it in this hole this way, where I really don't want this one. I really don't want this one in with the other one, but I don't have a choice because they're too tied together. They haven't grown apart yet. So I might change that as that happens. But now here on this other level, I'm going to take this one and do that, what I wanted. So this one puts the newest leaf inside the moss pole. If I can clasp it, there we go. I hope the gimbal's not going crazy up there, guys. I haven't been able to watch it. But I don't see it going crazy, but that doesn't mean it's not. This one we're going to clip like that. And then these, we aren't going to clip in this one. Now what will happen is when this new one gets a leaf, I'll have to adjust. And I've had to do that with my queen as it grows. Okay, I can't seem to clasp this in. Honestly, I don't want it leaning, but let's put more moss in, I think. Not that I need to, but for support of this plant or the stem, I think I do. And I'm gonna need to go make some more. This is it. Hey, Butch. Says, I've had enough of this. So this is when, you know, maybe a paper towel would work too. I don't want the weight of this plant as it grows. See, it has to have room to grow out the way it wants. So I don't think this is the right way. I think I have to have it for now grow on the outside of the pole. Because that leaf has to expand out. And keeping it in the pole, it won't be able to do what it needs to naturally do. So I'm going to change my mind and let it do its thing. Gosh, I can't see. I'm getting hungry. I don't know if I'll do the other one with you guys or not at this point. It might just be quicker if I do it on my own. There. So right now he's got plenty of things sitting on this nice moss. Got it all up and around. It should be set up for success. What was I thinking about as I was going along there? Oh, I was thinking about tape, and I was thinking about the paper towel. I think for now, I don't need to care about paper towels because these plastic bits the plant's not leaning on. But what I am going to do is I want it centered. So I'm just going to move him a little bit this way. Him this way for now. Obviously I'll be watching him, so I'll be watching it. All right, so that is that one. We did it. This other one, yeah, I don't know. Probably gonna be just as hard. And I need to go get new rocks. I'll do that in a second. And I need to get more moss. But before I do that, now here's what's left. So you see, we didn't get to reuse all of this, but I think it'll be okay. I could have put more on the top, but honestly, I think it's perfect the way it is. I'll reuse this with that probably. So, this is going to be hard because of this big leaf. I don't want to hurt the big leaf. It's starting to look bad though, like I said, because of that light. I up-potted this one. I had it in a smaller pot when I brought it home, so this will be the third time I'm jostling him around since I got him. Now granted, it didn't have this new, it didn't have this new node or whatever shoot. Hopefully we find that it actually could go somewhere in the smaller one. But then if I do that, I'm in the same catch-22 because I wanted to use the large moss pool. Let's see. Ooh, sun's coming out. You see why I wanted to do this though? Look at that. There's no support here. And I want support for him. Not a cocoa pole. I don't know why I bought those things. I think because I was influenced. We tend to get influenced. I was after you guys. Don't listen to others, but I did listen. That's what we do, right? When we watch these videos, we can't help it. Vacuum cleaner is going to be picking up a lot of tree fern. Interesting. I knew something's growing out of here. Well, I don't know if that's an aeroid. What is that? Maybe it is. Looks different to me. excited to get these up on a moss pole. And I'm thrilled that I'm game for a moss pole because I just know that it'll be better for these plants when time comes that I need to chop it. And support, you know? She didn't say it, but I think that Yibo cut this off her own plant. I guess, I'm guessing. I think that her Monstera Albo is huge, and I know she sold a couple of cuttings with these big leaves, and I think that's what she did. It's pretty impressive. I mean, she sold it for 80 bucks. That was it. I mean, an Albo with a big fenestrated leaf. Now, granted, you know, it could have gone wrong and not grow an actual plant out of it, but beautiful. Trying to get the bulk of this out so we have room, knowing what we just went through. See, I want these aeroids to grow into the moss pole. Might be good enough. It's not a very big root system. Not, it really isn't. I could. I'll do this probably like that. I keep hearing Jan say, you don't want it focusing on the roots. My back hurts. This is the smaller size. That's way too small. I don't have a smaller size, I don't think, from this to this. It's not huge, and it's growing in there, so why do I care? Okay. All right, so I need to go out and get more moss, and I need to get rocks. I have a mess here. Well, I thought while I was walking around and let the dogs out, got my rocks, my moss. I have to show you something extremely sad. What I did to my Peperomia plant. Watermelon Peperomia. So upset. I'm gonna have to cut off some leaves, and I thought, well, I'm making a video, might as well share it. Oh, big chunks of perlite down here. The babies are brushing their toothbrush right now. Yeah, look at this sad case before I start. Look at that. Absolutely devastated. So, yeah, I believe what happened. This plant was always thirsty. I put her in the no drainage, and I have a video on it was a Zen 2-hour video, and she actually was on the thumbnail. And I didn't have to water her for like 30 days. Then but I think the scenario was, and I did a video recently where I moved things around. I put this plant underneath the, I don't think I can, yeah, in the, right here at the side. See where my finger is? I moved her down there under that bright light. Stupid move on my part. I believe what happened here is she didn't have, it used up all the water because I hadn't watered her for so long. And I didn't catch it in time, and it just started this, and I guess it was dry. It was like, it soaked up all of its water from the leaves to try to stay alive. I mean, and I of course caught it too late. I watered her, and now my plant looks like this. So, yeah, I'm so upset with myself for that. So I'm just gonna chop these off, or at least get rid of this dead stuff. My thing is that it's just gonna keep, just gonna keep getting worse because it's going up into the plant. I don't know, I mean, I don't know anything about this plant, but apparently you don't put under bright light like that. Let's see if I can just cut this. It's not so bad that I have to cut off the whole thing, right? So needless to say, don't do that. So angry with myself. Hopefully it has a chance to come back. Obviously I don't have it under there anymore. Better, I guess, but this poor plant. See, it's cut off a lot back here. But she's growing, and hopefully she'll pop back. Oh, that's in the trash. And we'll carry on. But yeah, I was so angry with myself. I mean, I just didn't think about it. I didn't think about what would happen if she used up all of the water in her leaves. I mean, I didn't even think about it. Just didn't. Probably need one of these, so untangle it. Okay, now big perlite, gloves first. Dog. Smushy. Moss pole has to go down here. So let's get that. Got another one that I washed that we're going to reuse. I didn't have to build the other one today, which is nice. We're going to put this at the top. Have I been taking these off? No. Take it off here. Rocks have been washed. Gloves. Wish I had an overhead camera for you guys, but not gonna happen. Unless y'all want to pay for it. Not. I actually have another camera that I could use. I don't know where it is. My husband uses it out in his volunteer work. I haven't seen him for a while. Okay, now I'm going to add moss. Wait, no, I'm going to add dirt. Not roots. Hopefully I didn't screw up by combining that. I didn't think about it, guys. If there's any roots in here. Don't want any rot. Worked too hard for that. Backwards if I can. Okay, if not. Not ideal. Let's try it. So again, I want these aeroids, if I can get them in there. Oh boy, it's awful front heavy. It's front heavy, guys. Roots in there. Still front heavy. Of course it doesn't help with that, but I feel like it's way up too high. Maybe that's okay. No, it's maybe okay. Don't want that stem buried, and I think that's where I screw up on my Monsteras a lot of times. I bury the stem. Maybe that is okay. What I could do, because I don't want this leaf in here. So what I could do is lock it here. Could lock it here. It's all the way in there though. I don't have much choice. See how high up it is already? I don't think I want it that high. There's more substrate in here than there are roots. That's all I'm trying to do here is get more of that out so I have room to put her where she needs to be. There's going to be a time where I need to cut this big, beautiful leaf, but this is not the time. Just isn't. Not going to do it. Not going to do it, although it is tempting. So ideally, I want this down. Yeah, that's much better. All right. I think we got it this time. This is really back there far. I think I'm going to go ahead and close. Close these up here. I'm going to have to wash this off again. Mess up my rocks, but I need to get her in there right. I need to tuck her in. All right, so I can cut this one. Maybe. Click on it. Can't do it with my left hand. It's very awkward. This plant, very awkward. So I want this back up in here like this. Okay, that's what I want, because I know that's what the pros would do. Now, That means I want this stem locked in place. And I'm going to cut this one. It's really growing wonky already, but that's just the way it is. I'm gonna put, there's gonna be a growth point coming out here, I think. I got this off by one. This in here for now. Some of these roots in here are sticking out of the pole. All right, now I think I want to fill up pots, grab our roots. This is trash. I don't watch TV. I know I've told you guys this before. We don't have a TV, but I like watching something other than plant shows very rarely, but when I do, I'm very finicky on what I watch. And typically I'm very satisfied with reruns of the past. I grew up in the 80s and 70s and 80s and love those movies. So I typically will watch those when I do decide I want to watch something. So the other night I went to Amazon's Prime movies or whatever and looked around. I could spend, and I used to do this because nothing satisfied me, hours looking for shows. But it's learned that I like these older shows, especially TV shows. And the other night I saw Family Affair on. And if you haven't watched that, it's such a wholesome show. It's about an uncle who his brother and His brother died, had 2 kids, and it was just him. He was a bachelor, the uncle was. And he had a butler named French. And they were on this, they did their thing. They knew what the other wanted. French, you know, always scheduled, hit the time for the uncle to go out, all this stuff. They knew each other, they were on clockwork. But when his brother died, he ended up inheriting the kids, which were 2 twins and an older sister. So it is, I don't remember watching it as a kid. I remember watching it. I remember watching it, but I don't remember that I liked it. And I gotta be careful here because the roots are on top. I'm just gonna do this in the back. But I don't remember that I liked it. So I have enjoyed this show so much the last couple of days that I will probably end up watching it, the entire episode, if they have it on Prime for that long. You know, not the whole episode, I guess every season if they show it. I just think it's the cutest show. That Buffy is adorable. Both kids are, but Buffy was just, they're great little actors. Do you guys have shows that you like any specific era, or do you like anything? Any show is good, or do you have a preference? Like, I used to love Halloween. That was always my mainstay. Every Halloween, October came around. But I have not had the taste for that stuff for many years. I don't know. I can't stomach horror anymore. A couple years after I started meditating, all my tastes changed, where I didn't want to watch TV anymore. I felt like that was just a waste of my life. Now plants, I've learned I don't feel that way. So yeah, it's interesting how we change. Okay, so we're at the top. I'm going to start covering with moss. I think this will be okay, guys. I mean, obviously this did its job by producing me an Albo, which I would have never bought if it weren't for this. I would not have invested that money in an Albo. Now, they have come down in price so much that maybe I would now. When I started my plant journey, it was like an Albo would have cost like $500 for just a cutting like this. I think they were a couple $1,000 if you wanted a whole plant the size of my lemon lime. And I was like, are you kidding me? But now that I've been doing this so long, I get it. I get it. When you fall in love with plants and you collect them, there's definitely a price. I mean, I would not pay over $400 for a plant, but I will pay under $400, as you all know. But I have to really love the plant to do that. and I love all Anthurium. So there are some, like I've decided, I don't know if I've told you this before. I feel like I might have, not sure, but I have decided to no longer buy from Equigenera. And it's interesting how that came about. They leave a bad taste in my mouth. And what I mean by that is they don't care for their plants. They send them they keep them in that plastic. And I have spent exactly over a year now on regrowing my Anthurium pendants that I bought from them at the pop-up at the Orchid Festival last year. And that took a lot out of me wanting to buy from them again. I don't feel like their plants are that beautiful. I love Anthuriums, but what I'm not is an Anthurium, I don't know, I don't like the big flat leafless or veiny-ish shiny Anthuriums, and I feel like that's all they ever have. When I watched them on I used to watch them, I unfollowed most everybody now, but when I watched them on Palm Street, their plants were never healthy looking. They had them in those plastic bags in the shop, and I'm thinking to myself, how long are they going to keep them in these plastic bags before, and they might, who knows when they sell them, but yeah, I do not, I mean, that may change, obviously, but I do not think I will be buying from them again. I'm kind of down to 2 stores as it stands right now. I'm so happy with my Anthuriums and my plant collection where I have it. I don't feel the need to be on Palm Street like I was. But Baker's Acres, which you all know about because I've had multiple hybrids videos I've bought from them and recorded. That nursery in Ohio is the best grower of Anthuriums, period. And I say that with experience because I bought a lot of them over the last, 2 years. These plants, these hybrids that they make in their own nursery, they don't import, come, and they are the strongest, most beautiful plants I've ever seen. And guys, I've spent less than $50 on each plant. And 0 shipping other than the typical $18. Because they're in Ohio, they use UPS, and they use UPS ground, which gets to me the very next day. Or they do their lives Friday, or their purges on Friday nights, and then they pack on the weekend, and then Mondays they ship them, and then Tuesday I get mine, and I get it overnight without paying the overnight. Do you know how much money I save by doing that? I mean, we're talking $50, right? At least. I need more moss. And their plants are stellar. I mean, just look at all the babies that I have. There are a few that didn't come from them, but I mean, most of the baby Anthurium I own came from them. So I've allowed myself to get on Friday nights, look at what's on their purge. If I fall in love with what I see, I'm buying it. And because they're babies, because they're not built, they're not anywhere else, and I know what I'm getting, I have no problem with that. And I probably am done buying from Yibo for a while. I do like watching her lives, and I'm glad I did because I really wanted that Monstera Esqueleto. But I don't really have other plants that I'm wanting other than I'm obsessed with the Ripsalis that Charmaine has, and I ordered that on an Etsy shop, and it's in the mail now. Unfortunately, she had no UPS. She had no UPS, no FedEx, no overnights. So it's coming from New York. So far, it's been in the box for at least 3 days that I know of, and it's coming Monday. USPS should deliver it Monday if they don't take it across country to another state or wherever, you know how they are. But if it comes Monday, I really hope that it'll be alive and healthy, because that's a long time for a plant to be in a box. But I'm not too worried because it hasn't been so hot like it had been. So I really, my tastes are changing somewhat, and I want trailing plants, and Ripsalis is a beautiful plant. It's like, I know most of you know it, and I'll do a video on it, but that was like $45. I didn't pay any additional shipping other than $5 for it to go USPS. So things like that is where I'm headed, or where I am. I won't be going through a whole bunch of, like last year, I bought so much, but that's because I was building my collection. Could I buy more? Absolutely. Will I? Absolutely. But now you know where my mind is on who I'm buying from and kind of like what I'm buying. So, all right, I'll be back. I got to get more. This is the last of my moss. So I went ahead and decided I'll just use it up. This guy's gonna need it before anybody at this point. We'll see. Be careful, if I push too hard, it's just going to fall out because I don't have these strapped in yet. So what I think I'm going to do here is I'm going to strap this older leaf out and the newer leaf in. This is so not easy. Sometimes I feel like they make these clips too fat for the hole. patient. I have to be so careful. That's that one. This one, I can go ahead and lock him in. And again, like I say, as it grows, I will eventually pull that one out and the new one will go up. That's the way I envision it. Should be interesting, I will say that. I might have regrets putting this on a pole, but I don't feel like I will. I feel like this allows me the best future for the plant and for myself. Chop and plant rather than chop and prop, because it'll have those roots already nice. Certainly at a different angle than what it was. It's awkward, and I knew it would be because it was growing awkward anyways before. Shouldn't need all this moss. I think I'll put a little more in my lemon lime after this plump. No reason to fill this to the top until I need to. Once I start seeing roots up here, that's when I'll add more. Yes. It's a little heavier because it has more rocks, but I'm going to go ahead and chop off some of this dead stuff. And then I need to figure out where I'm going to put her because I don't want her getting all this brown crisp leaves. And I know it's from the light because I had to address this before, and I did. by her being underneath the big Deliciosa or whatever, Delicosa. And she was happy. Dang, I really screwed up again. Oh well. Live and maybe not learn sometimes. And just so you know, I do wash my scissors, but I'm not as anal as everybody you see on YouTube. Maybe I should be, but that's not me. I don't really believe that. I mean, they could transfer stuff, but I do wash them, like I say, but I'm not going to get up and wash them after every cutting of a plant while I'm recording. I could, you know, keep the alcohol over here, but yeah. All right, so this is what we got. I mean, obviously not ideal with the way it looks, but she's still pretty though. And I love that this leaf's facing forward. Maybe the rest will face forward, we'll see. Oh, I can't put her down there. She's got to hang off the the table. She's too, can't, now her leaf's down that way, I have to be careful. All right, put a little more in here. I think I'm going to go ahead while I'm doing this. I bought some things at a shop on Etsy. I want to open real quick because I haven't opened it. I got them in, they finally were delivered after waiting for about a month. And I got them for winter. Mainly for one for my queen and one for my Regale. We can do that together. Although this video is getting pretty long. May chop those leaves off soon with the yellow on it. It's not the most beautiful in the world. Look at this mess. Okay. My husband comes home from lunch. He's gonna be like, well, he don't care. He knew I was gonna be doing this today. Been excited to do my video. All right, I need this stuff. Here's my box. So, Rooted on the Peaks is where I got this. They make them. It's a 3D printer that he has. Here's my razor. It's a 3D printer, and I've been wanting, I almost ordered the plastic extensions for our plant rather than potting it up into a bigger pot. And I don't want a moss pole for my Regale because I don't feel like that. I feel like it's too hard to know where how it's going to grow. So I don't want a moss pole yet. I tried a moss pole already, it didn't work. I've tried a support, it's working, but thank you so much for waiting, Sheri. I will take 15% off your next order, Carson. That was nice. Yeah, I had to wait a long time. The shop was closed when I first went there. And then when it opened, I had to wait because his printer stopped working or something. So I got a couple different sizes of these. I got, these are pot extenders. I got 4-inch, 3 count. So these are the 4-inch, and I guess you're just supposed to do this. Okay, I got the one side in. Hold on a minute. Am I doing it right? No. This side doesn't want to go in, but this side wants to go in. Oh. What? Oh, okay. So this is for a smaller plant stem, obviously. I really didn't know what to get. I didn't know really what plant I'm going to use them on. I just wanted to have a couple different options. And then so these are all the small ones. And they're supposed to fit on top of each other. Like that. Then I got another one of that size. Sorry, the box is in the way. I forgot about the Mac. Oops. I did. If you've seen the plastic ones, they're probably more flexible in a way, but I didn't want. When I saw these, I felt like this was better. We'll see. You have root air, you have air for the roots, but you could potentially just keep putting it up the stem of your tree rather than having a moss pole. So that was the reason I got them. So that's those. They had different colors. I only wanted the white one. And then here's the bigger one. So now let me get my queen, but she's not a queen, she's a Regale. But I think she's gonna be replacing my love for my queen, but we'll see. Here she is. Look at this big gal. Look at that leaf. She's starting to get herself up there now. I'm not sure how, I don't know how this thing's supposed to grow. It shouldn't be any different than any other Anthurium, but I feel like she's just a little bit different. So what I want here is I want to keep this area moist, but I don't know if she really needs that at this point. So what I was wanting with this one is to put this in like this, I guess. You have this at the top so you can build it out. Oh, I see a gnat, guys. See a gnat. Didn't say I didn't have any, but so then I can do this. Then I put the moss inside of it. I'm going to go ahead and take this off. But I don't know if I need this anymore. It's for support. But I don't know where this stem's going. So I'm gonna hold off on doing this, but this is what I foresee doing here. Once I see, because I just put more tree fern soil on her. I filled up all of them, like I said. And that's really when this comes in. When this comes in, when the aeroids keep going up, but you don't want to up pot to a bigger pot, which I don't. So, yeah. So that's that. That leaves me with all this moss. I was gonna put that on here. Maybe I should just do it. I don't know. I really can't make my mind up about that right now, I don't think. I could just dry this out. Or maybe not. I'm just curious. I know what I know I need to support it, but what I'm hoping is that I can support it without this, at least now, and then maybe we do this, now that I've made a mess of my hands. Oops. Oops. It's not ideal. It makes me nervous. Makes me really nervous. Where I don't get nervous with the others. Try a different pair. Shouldn't matter, but see it's got roots, and that's why I put additional tree fern soil in here, all at the top. And what I want is, I want the moisture on top and around the aroids as they grow. So like this. Then you don't have to see it, you know, like if it's the clear plastic stuff, you see it. And I just thought this was cool because these vents will help reduce so much moisture. But you don't want it wet for weeks at a time, and I think that that'll be helpful. Because when I water these plants, they get soft from top to bottom. And I think that this is helpful because unlike the moss pole, it does have the vent in front, but in the back it stays pretty moist and wet for at least 7 days for me. So this is kind of what I was trying to do, and this is cool. You guys got to see what my thoughts are on this. But it may be overkill right now since I did this, but I need to use the moss. And this was the plant I wanted to do it on. So, how about that? Please don't fall. All right, here. So I don't think that I need this, so I will take that away for now. But yeah, so here it is, guys, our finished product for today. This is how I ended up doing it. Obviously, I don't want to hide this plant from the light, but having him or it there rather than where the lemon lime was, which is where it was there. I can't remember. I think it was here. Anyways, I think he'll have coverage here, and with the strap leaf Anthurium pallidiflorum coming down, I feel like that's a better choice for him or it than directly under the light where he was browning. You can see here how far down they are, so it really surprises me. Anyways, I just wanted to follow back up so you could see where our 3 monsteras ended up and what it looked like. I just love it. I love it so much. I think it's so beautiful. And the moss poles you can't even see on these two. You can in this one, obviously, because he's out there and I have more in it and there's less leaf, but eventually I don't even know if we'll see it. We'll see. That's it, guys. That's all I wanted to do today. Check her out. I mean, I really want to make this work. This is kind of like a mission, like my queen was. My mission is to have more than one leaf on this plant. Beautiful. Now this one isn't bad. This was the newer leaf when it came, but you see they're starting to get signs of wear and tear, dryness. So yeah, I'm hoping that aroid food is what it really needed. And when I saw that guy say his Regale loved it, I was like, I'm in. So if you enjoyed this, and even if you didn't quite enjoy it, I'd still appreciate a thumbs up and a couple comments. That helps my channel, helps YouTube actually say, hey, she's worth watching. Let's put her in people's feeds. So yeah, if you enjoyed it, I really appreciate the hearing from you and your comments. I love talking with you. One of the things that I'm different than the most plant creators, and I comment a lot on everything that I watch. I will respond to you. It may not be immediately, but I will respond to you. You will not be left in the dust because my channel grows, or if it grows. So that's one of the things I've noticed is people just decide that, I don't need to respond to everybody, but to me that's just not cool. You're the reason I'm here. I want to share my plans with you and hear from you. So have a wonderful rest of your day. And wherever this finds you, may you be blessed and enjoy. Bye.